Hi, I'm AJ Hogue, one of the teachers for Learn Real English. And this is just a quick little video to chat with you about the topic of real English. So some people wonder, what does that mean when we say learn real English? And why did we create a website and lessons and a company focused only on real English? Well, first let me talk about the difference between real English and textbook school English. And you know, I didn't realize this in the beginning when I became a teacher and when Kristen and Joe were first teaching. We were like most normal teachers, and we used normal textbooks, and we taught the English that was in the textbooks. And for example, in those textbooks, always at the beginning, the first lesson of the first book, Basic Beginning English, there's always a little conversation. Sometimes they have it on CD. There's always a little conversation, and it says something like this. One person says, "Hello." And the other person says, "Hello, how are you?" And then the other person says, "I'm fine, and you?" And the other person says, "I'm fine, thank you." Okay, so that's the kind of English that schools are teaching you. And of course, it gets more advanced and more advanced and more advanced. But the problem is, nobody speaks that way. You will not find any, or almost none, real Americans who will actually speak that way. Canadians don't speak that way, British people don't speak that way, Australians don't speak that way. In real life, in real conversations, when you're talking to a friend, you're talking to a customer, you're talking to a business partner, native speakers, meaning people who were born speaking English, they learned it as a baby, they don't speak that way. It's too formal. It sounds very, very strange. So what's happening is that, in fact, in school, you are learning formal written English. They're teaching you the style of English that we use when we write. And that's fine when you want to write letters and school essays, because they're really teaching you the kind of writing we use for school essays, school papers, academic style. That's what you learn in school. And if you're going to go to a university in the United States and you need some kind of academic English, okay, that's fine. That's fine. We do use it in that kind of situation. The problem is we don't use it in normal speech. We don't use it on the phone. We don't use it in business meetings. We don't use it at parties. We don't use it talking to friends. We don't use it in the bus stops. We don't use it in restaurants. We don't use that kind of English. We use real English. These are quotes. Okay, we use real English. Real conversational English. It's a totally different style, using very different vocabulary sometimes, definitely using a different way of pronunciation, a different way of speaking, a different speed. There's so many differences between real English and school English. And we realized this when we saw our students come to San Francisco, come to America. And in their own country, in Korea, in Japan, in Europe, in South America, they were advanced English learners. Their teachers said that they were advanced. They could pass a lot of tests. They did very, very well on grammar tests. But the problem was, they came to America, and they would try to talk to real Americans. For example, at a bus stop. A person would say, "Hey, how's it going? What's up?" And they would be, "What? What's up? How's it going? That's not in my textbook." And that's a very simple, easy example, which you might already know. But then they start talking more and more. They're talking very fast, using a lot of idioms, using a lot of slang, putting words together. So, for example, using the future. In school you learned going to. I'm going to go to the store. Well, in real conversations, we almost never say that. What we say is gonna. I'm gonna go to the store. I'm gonna go to the movies. I'm gonna get a haircut. Gonna means going to. You don't see gonna in many textbooks. You don't learn it in many schools, and yet that is what we use 90% of the time in real conversations. There are so many examples like this. So this is why you can understand your textbook, but then you watch a movie in English and you really can't understand it. There's so much slang, so many idioms. They're pushing words together. The pronunciation's different. The speed is faster. It's so totally different from your textbooks, from what you learned at school. So some students, they worry, they think, oh, I'm stupid, oh, I'm not a good learner, I'm not a good student. That's not true. There's nothing wrong with you. The only problem is that you learned school English, academic English, and you never learned real English. You never learned how we really speak in America, in Canada, in Britain, in Australia, in a lot of movies. You just never learned that real English. And so that's why we created Learn Real English, to help you learn the real English that real people use every day in real situations. The situations that you will actually use English in, on the phone, in business meetings, with customers, traveling, with friends, at parties. All of those kind of situations require real English. Any kind of conversation requires real English. So that's why we created our company, Learn Real English. That's why we created our set of Learn Real English lessons. And in fact, we are creating a brand new program coming soon. We're calling it the Advanced Conversation Club. And this is going to be super powerful because it's going to be new lessons every month. And we're really going to teach you how to improve your English speaking with real conversations, to improve it fast so that you can speak really quickly, so that you can understand all of that real English, all of those slang words, all of those idioms, all the words we push together. And you'll learn the real vocabulary that we use, not the school vocabulary. So that's an exciting new program. We'll tell you more about that later. But right now, I just want you to understand that there's a big difference between school English and textbook English and real English. And you need real English for success. For real success, for really talking to people, for powerful communication on the phone, in person, in real conversations, you must learn real English, master real English. And that's why Joe and Kristen and I are here to help you. So I hope you're enjoying Learn Real English, and I hope you enjoyed this video, and I'll send you some more videos soon. Okay, I hope you have a great day. See you again soon. Bye-bye. Bye-bye.